In lesson 2, we are still talking about the problem-solving process. And so for your warm-up, I want you to go to Schoology, and this right here, code.org journal and prompts, click the link, click that, and it's going to make you a copy of the student journal. And I'm going to show you what that's going to look like, okay? Because this is going to make life so much easier for you. Okay, so you've got the journal. You've got a link to each one. And so as you're going through, you can click and it will take you to the prompt, or at least it should. Okay, that's lesson 1 wrap up. You have the same kind of lesson start screen as I do. Your warm up, you're gonna see the warm up the same as me. And so that's going to help you. I think mine will give you the prompt like this. Yours will give you the prompt with a place where you can answer it, okay? And that's just gonna be really easy for you. Okay, so what I want you to do, click share. Mine says I'm the owner, of course. Okay, yours is gonna say you are the owner. And what I want you to do is share this with me and Emma Whitehead. And this is the email that I want you to use, okay? You can leave it as editor, you can change it to commenter, and I'm fine with that. Okay, and then for the message, you can say, virtual ECS student, here is my agenda for code.org Unit 1. All right, and then you can just click send. All right, so let's get back to this. You're in your journal, okay? I want you to answer this question. We use the term problem to refer to lots of different situations. So I want you to brainstorm as many different kinds of problems as you can, and obviously you're just going to write those in your journal. We're not going to share them with the class. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute, and go ahead. All right. So our question for today is, what are some common steps we can use to solve many different types of problems? So as we go throughout this lesson, I want you to be thinking about this question and see how this lesson helps you answer this question, okay? So for the first part of our activity, we are going to watch this video of Ryan, who is the head of software at Zipline, and I want you to be thinking about these questions as you watch this video. How did you follow the problem-solving process in the last lesson? Okay, when you were making the paper tower. How could you use this process on a problem in your everyday life? So if for some reason me playing the video makes it skippy or something, I'm going to give you the link in the assignment post on Schoology so that you can click that link and go straight to the video and watch it.
Hi, I'm Ryan. and I'm the head of software at Zipline. Zipline operates across Africa using drones to make life-saving blood deliveries. We deliver medical products like blood and vaccines to places that otherwise can't be reached. We all deal with different types of problems every day. And one way or another, we come up with solutions. But did you know there's actually a series of steps you can take for solving any problem? It's called the problem-solving process, and it has 4 basic parts. 1. Define. Identify the problem. 2. Prepare. Research previous solutions and brainstorm new ones. 3. Try. Put a plan into action and test to see what works. And 4. Reflect. Review what worked and what didn't, and how you might change your approach in the future. Let's take a look at how this process is used in the real world by looking at where I work, Zipline. At Zipline, we started by defining the problem. First, when people need blood, they need blood fast. Second, blood is very hard to store because there are many different types and it expires quickly. And third, most of the world does not have roads we can rely on for delivery. The next step was to prepare a solution. First, we traveled to Africa and met with doctors, the people on the ground who are most familiar with these problems. We learned that storing the blood in one place would really help, if only there was some way of getting the blood from that place to remote clinics on demand. Next, we came up with all kinds of ideas and really let our imaginations fly. The solution we thought might work was an airplane-shaped drone that could fly really far, really fast, over all kinds of rough terrain. When it flew over its destination, it would parachute drop a package of blood to the doctors on the ground, then return home. Now it was time to try this all out. Thanks to previous medical research, we knew techniques for building a blood storage facility. So we built one in a central location so that we could deliver blood to almost anywhere in the country. Then we built drones, a lot of drones. We tested how to fly the drones, turn them around and recover them. And as we tried, we had successes and we had plenty of failures. We quickly learned that dropping the blood from the sky worked really well, but we also learned problems like weather and hardware failures could slow us down a lot. So, as we tried, we had to go back and prepare new solutions as we defined new problems. Finally, we had something that worked. It was time to look at what we had done and really reflect on how it had gone. We reflected on our original definition of the problem and asked if our solution was better or worse than what existed before. We even started to think about how our solution might be used to address other problems. Could it work for delivering medicine or even organs? Could it work in reverse and collect items from distant locations? And could we get this solution to work in other countries? For each of these questions, we went back and we redefined our process and we made it better. The problem-solving process works in all kinds of areas: creative, personal, existential, you name it. By using these 4 steps, you can figure out a process to make anything work.
So, clearly, we encounter problems in lots of different areas of our lives. And depending on the context, this word can have many different meanings. So today we're going to look at some steps we can take to solve all sorts of problems. So your question for the day, let's remember that. Your question for the day: what are some common steps we can take or we can use to solve many different types of problems? So after you watched this video of Ryan, how could this problem-solving process be used on a problem in your everyday life? one thing that I think about is, and this is what the problem solving process looks like, but one thing that I think about is like whenever I lose something, what problem am I trying to solve? I'm trying to find what I lost, right? Okay. Brainstorm possible solutions. Where could it possibly be? It could be the places where I previously was. It could be my kids could have taken it somewhere. I have a 2-year-old and he likes to get into all sorts of things and move things. My 6-year-old could have moved it. My husband could have moved it. So those are all possible places / solutions to where a lost item might be for me. So put your plan into action. I go look in those places. Okay. Reflect. Did I find it? Yes or no? If I did not find it, I have to go back I have to just follow this circle and get back to the prepare and come up with some more possible solutions. Okay, and then I try those. Is my item there? Did I find it? Yes or no? If I did, then I can stop. If I did not, I have to keep going. All right. Sometimes one of those problems can be solved in just a few minutes. Sometimes it might take a few days. So it really kind of depends on the situation. So I want you to look at your activity guide. You can download it attached to this assignment post. Let me see what it looks like. This is your activity guide. Okay, problem solving process. So you have this exact image like what I've got. Okay, right here. And we are going to think about the paper tower challenge that we did. Okay. Think about that challenge and which parts of the activity were part of the following steps. So if you need to go back and think, go back and think. Okay. You can pause this video and you can look at your materials from the last class. So pull up your activity guide. This activity guide, it's got the same graphic for the problem solving process on it. And what you're going to do is you're going to think about when you were building your paper tower, and you're going to fill in each of these 4 steps of the problem solving process with the parts of the building, the paper tower, that you think fall within that step. Okay, so how did we define the problem? What did we define as the problem? How did we prepare? Okay, when we reflected and we went back around to build tower number 2, what did we do to prepare for that one? Okay, what strategies did we use in solving this problem that could help us solve other problems? All right, and then what you're going to do is, after you have finished that, I'm going to give you some time to go ahead and work on that, okay? So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to reset, or no, I just clicked reset. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to think about those things and fill them out in your activity guide. Okay, I'm actually going to stop it there, but if you need some more time, feel free to pause the video right here and give yourself more time to complete that part of the activity guide, okay? So if you are done with this part of the activity guide, we're just going to go ahead and move on. If you're not done, pause this video here so you can finish it. All right. A problem you are good at solving. So what I want you to do right here is I want you to brainstorm a type of problem that you are good at solving. I want you to put two or three problems that you're good at solving, either up here or maybe on the side. Okay, so you can put it like this, and then do that again. Okay, and then I want you to choose one of those problems, okay, and put the type of problem right here, and then go over the different steps of the problem solving process and identify each step of the process for that particular problem. And then answer this question: what strategies do you use in solving this problem that could help you solve other problems? Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to think about two different problems. All right, so of those two problems, pick one, write it down, the type of problem that it is, and then answer these steps for it. Okay, so pause the video here, and whenever you get done answering that, go ahead and come back. So you just finished answering all of this, a problem that you're good at solving. What I want you to do now is find a partner. This person can be someone sitting beside you. It can be a brother, a sister, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a mom, a dad, a grandparent. It really doesn't matter. It just needs to be another person that you can talk to, okay? If you were in the classroom, it would be your neighbor or somebody that I group you with. So you just want to find somebody that you can work with, okay? So I want you to complete this is the very bottom of your activity guide, okay? And I want you to complete this with another person. So I want you to put that other person's name somewhere on here, okay? And tell me who that person is. All right, are they a friend? Are they a relative? Okay, it doesn't really matter who you choose. I just want to know who it is that you chose, okay? Find a classmate, partner, and talk to them to figure out what type of problem you both could get better at solving. So that means that you are going to have to explain this problem solving process to whoever you choose as your partner. That might be easier if you choose somebody else who is also taking this class virtually. Otherwise, you're going to have to explain this to whoever it is that you're working with, okay? You're going to fill out the questions below with strategies or steps that you want to use to try to solve this problem-solving process, to solve the problem using this problem-solving process, okay? And whenever you get done, you are going to save this as a PDF or export it as a PDF, and you're going to submit this to the assignment post in the Unit 3 folder. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, okay? For your wrap-up journal post, I want you to put this in your journal, and again, it's going to be easy for you to get there, okay, if you are using the journal that I linked. All right, so you've thought about a bunch of different types of problems today, and in the video you saw a specific problem that was solved and how they solved it. So all of those problems used this problem-solving process. For each step of the process, think of one general tip that could be useful no matter what problem someone is trying to solve. Okay? And then you'll be done for the day, for this lesson.